Hello everybody, and welcome to Kobe's Classroom, the visual guide for the fight Arcadion M6S Savage against Sugar Riot. Let's just be real though, it's really against the ads. This guide was created using the strats that we use in the Materia Party Finder, so without further ado, let's get started. The fight begins with Moose Mural, a raid wide. Up next is Color Riot, which is a tank buster. The boss will telegraph two colors pointing one up and one down. The color pointing up hits the closest player, and the color pointing down hits the furthest. For this first one, we can just have the main tank bait close and off tank far, giving an orange or blue debuff. Every other time we see this, the tanks need to be hit by the opposite color to their debuff. Wing Mark will give all players a wing debuff, sending them flying forward when it expires. For Color Clash, Sugar Riot will shoot upwards either 2 or 4 times. If it's 2 times, she stocks light party stacks. 4 shots is pair stacks. Double Style will paint 2 images, each with a unique type of AoE. There will always be one corner that's safe from both of these AoEs, and it's up to you to identify it and fly to it with your wing debuff. This first type of painting is a succubus, which does a large point blank AoE on the cardinal it gets painted on. One of the corners away from it is safe. As soon as you land, you need to get into your stocked light parties or pairs. These are always done corner relative. If we get a Morble, it does a large cone, leaving one of the corners next to it safe. Bombs will spawn on the west, so one of the east corners is safe, and wing bombs fly over to the east, leaving one of the west corners safe. Double Style will do some combination of these. The only ones you can't get is a combination of bombs. After our pairs or light parties, we all spread in our clock spots for Sticky Moose. This hits and binds 2 random players, applying a debuff which resolves in a light party stack. Because the targeted players are random, you just have to eyeball 4-person stacks. You can live with 3 though. Finally, we get a Color Riot tank buster. Remember to bait the opposite color. And then the boss jumps north, casting Sugarscape, transforming the arena into the desert phase.
What inspiration will you give me, I wonder?
Welcome to Sugar Riot's Gallery of Glamour!
What's your favorite color? Perhaps I'll draw this.
When we get to Desert Phase, some debuffs come out. All players get a sun dot that will be ticking through this whole phase. Both healers get a long deformation, and one tank and one DPS get a short deformation. One other player gets a stack debuff. If the main tank has the tank deformation, I suggest having the off tank provoke until it's resolved. The boss will start casting Layer, which adds some cacti to the canvas. Like in normal mode, this will spawn 6 waves of cacti that grow and explode. We're going to just dodge this in the north, as the boss is already up there, and usually the dodges are pretty easy. After the final wave, the first deformation and stack debuffs resolve. We send the tank west, DPS east, and the stack just stays in the middle. Once that's resolved, we get another Sticky Moose, which is handled like normal, and then another layer, creating a sinkhole in the middle. One of the corners will have a cactus in it. We find that corner and send the party opposite it, H1 clockwise and H2 counterclockwise to handle their debuffs. Afterwards, we get into a lineup looking at true north. The sinkhole appears north or south, and the boss casts double style. One roll will be attached to a normal looking bomb, and the other will get a wing bomb. The normal bomb always has a blue tether, and the wing bomb has a purple tether. We need the normal bombs to start in the quicksand, and the wing bomb players to aim so their bomb flies into it. So you can have the blue tether start in, and purple start out, swapping with the other roll as necessary. The bombs spawn with a spread AoE, and then sink in the quicksand. This phase ends with a raid wide.
Goodness! The rain has become a desert!
When I think desert, I think of these prickly fellows.
Watch out! It's a veritable storm of needles!
There's something missing. Oh, I know.
Quicksand? Oh, you don't want to get caught in that!
What do you think of this?
When we get back to the drawing board, we have another Sugar Riot tank buster, and then Soul Sugar starts the ad phase. This has changed a bit since my ad phase video to incorporate the cleave maxing strat. I still recommend using Fizz ranged LB on this for a couple reasons, but caster LB is also perfectly fine, and in following weeks when everyone has better gear, you'll probably be able to just melee LB the boss. If you want to change, just let your group know. The timing for this LB is on the 4th pulse of the spawning sound effect. Let's take a look at the different ads. First is the Yan, which just auto-attacks, but gets a damage buff if it kills a player, gets close to a squirrel, or gets hit by water. The squirrel also just auto-attacks, but also does a raid wide, giving a bleed after a while. The cat will steal your limit break when it spawns, which is why we use it just before the first wave. It also jumps around for a while before landing on a random player and casting a small AoE. Eventually it enrages, wiping the raid. The Manta tethers to the first player that deals damage to it, and occasionally casts Water 3, leaving a water puddle behind, inflicting a dot to anybody that touches it. Finally, the Jabberwock targets a random healer, stunning them, then walks towards them and insta-kills upon reaching them. The first wave spawns a Yan on the west, a cat north, and 2 squirrels on the east. The main tank will grab the squirrels and pull them down to 3. The off tank will grab the Yan and tank it on the west. All other players can stand on and focus down the Yan, trying to bait the cat into it. This Yan needs to die before the second wave. The second wave brings a Manta in the northwest and east, and 2 squirrels south. We're going to have D3 take the northwest Manta and H1 take the northeast, allowing the main tank to bring all the squirrels to the northeast and having all players use their 2-minute burst to cleave down the northeast Manta, squirrels, and boss, before moving to the northwest Manta. There is some flexibility with this depending on your party comp though. We chose to put D3 on the northwest for consistency, but if you have a dancer, it's really bad to stick them on the Manta. But the other Fizz ranged are fine. If you have a black mage, they do really well on the Manta, but some other casters suffer. Unfortunately, one person does have to take it, and there's not much that can be done about it, so you need to discuss with your group who goes on that Manta. The third set starts to spawn, bringing a Yan north, Cat south, and Jabberwock west. The off-tank is going to take this Yan and just hold it north between the puddles. The Jabberwock is untargetable for a while, so you should use this time to focus down a couple squirrels. The Jabberwock marks a healer. This healer is going to run southeast. The Jabber starts moving towards the healer. You want to focus it down hard. The main tank will stun it first between 4 and C, and then D1 can stun it. As the Jabber gets close to the healer, the boss paints a crystal, causing a raid wide. At this point, you want to kill any remaining squirrels, and the cat. The fourth wave spawns, giving Mantis in the southwest and east, another Yan north for the off-tank to hold, a Jabberwock in the north, and 2 squirrels and a cat south. If the wave 3 cat is still alive, you need to make sure it dies here or it will enrage. We're going to have D3 grab the southwest and D4 grab the southeast Manta, and just run these down the walls. The main tank will hold all the squirrels at the southeast Manta. The Jabber targets a healer which goes southeast again. The Jabber starts moving. The off-tank will stun this first between A and 2. D2 gets the second stun. Next, we focus on the southeast Manta and squirrels. And then the cat. And finally, the southwest Manta. We get another crystal raid wide. And we can use our 2 minutes to burn down the last squirrels. When the squirrels die, the main tank can provoke one of the Yans to take the heat off the off-tank. The boss paints an arrow, check the outside and stand between them, and finish off the Yans. This all ends with a Color Riot tank buster into a raid wide. If the ads aren't all finished by this time, they enrage, wiping the party.
Pudding alone gets awfully dull, don't you think?
A transformative piece! The Fiend has been completely remade!
If you made it here, you should be able to clear. Sugarscape will transform us into the river phase. Double Style will paint an arrow and either lightning for a spread or fire for light party stacks. There's two possible arrow patterns. For lightning, we either spread like this or this. If we have fire, we need to be in the water for the stacks, which we either take here or here, depending on the arrows. Leia will paint the canvas, making the river unsafe. We all stack up on a bridge to bait some AoEs. The storm begins. When the screen flashes with a lightning effect, it means an AoE has been placed under you. Spread out and avoid the storm AoE. The storm will start to move to another island. A support and a DPS get a lightning spread marker, erupting the island they're standing on. To handle this, we look at the island the storm is moving to. The party will stand on the bridge opposite it. The marked support goes left. The marked DPS goes right. There's also some randomly dropping AoEs to avoid while moving to these positions. There's 4 sets of this, with each person getting a spread marker. After the 4th, we get a multi-hit party stack. The next layer will transform the arena to the fire phase, and we need to pre-position on these islands. Melee on the south island, D3 and H1 northwest, D4 and H2 northeast.
A crystal clear river! How charming!
This is no good. It needs a touch of thunder, a dash of downpour.
A thunderstorm has turned the waters muddy! How frightening!
Needs more impact. You sparked my imagination. The ideas fairly erupt.
Moose Drip will bait a multi-hit pair stack on the 2 furthest players. The ranged DPS need to make sure to bait these. It also spawns some towers. The healers can join their partner for this pair stack, leaving behind some puddles. The boss casts Musica, firing Proteans at the 4 closest players. After Proteans and all 5 pair stacks, each group should stack up to bait some more lightning twisters, then soak their tower. The healers and melee will take the tower closest to the middle. The ranged and tanks take the tower closest to the wall. We get another wing mark, giving the wing debuff, and some more towers. There's 2 patterns for this. The first one has 4 towers on one of the other islands. The melees need to fly clockwise or counterclockwise to arrive at this island, with the ranged flying in the same direction. We get some more baited lightning twisters, and then we soak our towers. The melees fill the tower from north to south. Tank, DPS, DPS, tank. The other pattern is 8 towers on the south island. For this, the melees start in the southeast and fly to the other corner. All the ranged fly south. Bait the lightning twister, and then soak these towers. These positions are fixed. This phase ends with a raid wide, transforming back to the normal platform, where we just get repeat mechanics until enraged, like Sticky Moose, and Color Clash, which is the first mechanic. The enrage for this fight spawns a bunch of different creatures and items which all explode with their associated AoE.
Lava is ravaging the ring! Talk about destructive creativity. Oh no! That was too much for the challenger! The challenger rises again! Let me turn this around!
And that's the whole fight. If you manage to clear, congratulations. If not, you'll get it next time. The ad phase will get significantly easier in the next few weeks as more people get better gear, so this fight will end up being much easier. If you liked this video, you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.